everybody, I'm Emma, this is Emma Rosen Books, and I want to talk about how I have marketed so far this book, Milk, which is coming out on the 22nd of October, which is 20 days away. That's just scary. I know that marketing is something I'm really learning about, and it's something that's going to change with experience. I also think that it might be different for subsequent books to what it is for your first book. So I'm talking from the perspective of being in the middle of marketing my first book. So the first point I want to talk about is ARCs, Advanced Reader Copies. So I made a list. In fact, long before I started marketing the book, I started putting this list together and sort of refined it as I went. Made a list of anyone who I thought might be interested in reviewing this book. So this is a niche book because it's about breastfeeding. So you know, I'm looking for people who are talking about parenting, breastfeeding, any of that kind of stuff. So I started putting a list together of people with platforms where they could review Milk. So, you know, booktubers, other YouTubers who talk about parenting, bloggers, magazines, organisations, particular organisations who have a magazine that they could put a review in. It's sort of interested people, basically, who might be able to share it on their platforms. And I put together this list and went through to look at these people's platforms and whether I thought that my book was going to be a fit, and whether I could get contact details and things like that, because sometimes it's hard to find people's contact details. Although I managed to get a couple of people through social media. But you know, find some contact details. Oh, and podcasts as well. I mustn't miss that out. And I put together a press kit. I will leave below the link to where I got the information about how to put together my press kit, but basically I just produced an A4 PDF with all the information about me and my book, so that when I was sending people information saying, would you like to review my book, they had on one page everything that they needed to know. And I literally just sent people an email saying who I was and what my book was about and would they like a review copy. Where it was appropriate, I offered a book as a prize if they wanted, you know, if a magazine wanted to run a prize or something like that, that they could do a giveaway for my book if they wanted, and waited to see if I got a response. And I would say probably about half of the people I contacted came back and said yes. So I've sent those away. I have heard back from a few people saying that they are going to review Milk, and that, you know, obviously in due course when I get those reviews from people's blogs and so on, then I will post them on my social media. So please do check out my social media if you're not already following me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, you know, and you'll see all of those things updated and posted. So it seems to have been worthwhile. Really sending out some emails isn't a massive amount of work. So fingers crossed, as a marketing tool, that's really worked. And apart from anything else, it's been really great to connect with people who are within the community. So obviously for me, because like I say, I'm talking about parenting and breastfeeding, connecting with those kind of people who are going to be relevant to this book ongoing. Yeah, you know, it's a good thing. So that was the first thing I did. The next thing that I did is media. These aren't in any particular order. So I contacted media outlets, so newspapers, radio, TV. I personally don't have inhibitions about any of that stuff. I know some people might be uncomfortable with it, but for me it's absolutely fine. And again, I went from national to local. There's no reason to exclude something. You don't know what customers you're going to be accessing, and this is my first book. Nobody knows who I am, so I can't sit there and be like, no, I want to be on national TV or whatever, because why would they necessarily want to speak to me? And equally, I don't think anybody has the right to be like, oh no, it's a local thing, I'm too good for this, because nobody is, and we should all be part of our local communities and supporting that kind of stuff. So ultimately, the broad spectrum, but you know, to see what was good, what worked, what I enjoyed. So on Friday, I went to Deal Radio. They have a community drop-in session, so you can just pop in and talk about your project, and it was so much fun. I will link that below as well. You might have seen that on my social media feeds. And I'm going to go back again in a month to talk about the release a little bit closer to the date. But yeah, that was really great. Again, it's a community thing, so I got to meet other community people and the presenters of the show and other people involved, so it was just great. I think community is everything, and it's so important. You know, you're a writer within that community, you're a business person, it's important to engage with that local community. Yeah, brilliant, really good experience, it was good fun. And I am recording something later in the week with Dover Radio, which is another local radio station. And I'm really looking forward to that, and I'll post that once that's a pre-recorded thing, so that'll be different, but I'll post that once that's gone live. So yeah, that was really good fun. I didn't hear back from anybody about TV as of yet, and the newspaper, I've got a local newspaper that's going to be doing a little bit of coverage, so again I will post that. The dog's moving. Stay still, Dolly. So yeah, you know, you don't know what audience you're going to reach. I think it's worth trying out these media forms and seeing if you enjoy it. As I say, for me, I'm quite happy to do all of these things. So I guess it depends for you if you're comfortable going on radio or TV or whatever, but it was fun. I liked it. Anyway, the next thing is social media. So I've been working on my social media accounts for a while with a view of knowing that I would be using them as a marketing tool eventually. So probably very seriously since January, I've been making sure I post regularly, interacting with people, you know, not just using it as a fun personal thing, but considering, right, I have got to engage with these forms of social media. I started an Instagram account, I didn't actually have one before then. And it's been really great actually, because again, meeting people and interacting with people, I feel like I have friends all over the world. It's been really awesome. Of course, this YouTube channel was part of that too. I started this channel in January. And interacting, talking about my book, talking about what I'm doing, and, you know, building an audience. And it's been so worth it, in my opinion, you know, to talk to people, get to know people, have a presence. But it also means that if people are looking for my book, people can find me very easily, and that's important. I also have an author website, which is www.emmarosenbooks.co.uk, and I think having an author platform is really important, and I keep that regularly updated, and you can go on there and find out about information about me and my books and links to everything. So all in all, yeah, you know, I feel like I've got that online presence as best as I can. I'm sure that a social media marketing expert would say that I'm not doing it perfectly, but I'm trying, you know, and using hashtags and sharing stuff, interacting with people. So, and my audience is growing continually. So I think that's been worth it. But as I say, apart from anything else, I've made friends. So it's awesome. The final thing is I ran a giveaway. I am going to do another giveaway when the book is released. The giveaway that I did, I announced last week, and this was, there was a post on my Facebook, Twitter and Instagram that people could share, and if people shared it, then they got entered into a giveaway to win a free advanced copy of my book. Now, this was so interesting because where I could see the analytics, on Facebook this was, I could see that where I've actually got a really small following on Facebook, that because it had been shared by these people amongst their friendship groups, that suddenly this book was being exposed to so many more people, and I could see how many people had seen it and clicked on it and interacted with it, and it was getting this massive audience. So I think that that was really, really worthwhile. I mean, with the mindset that if somebody sees the book a number of times, they're going to get more and more interested in it. So just being out there, being talked about, I think is really, really worthwhile. And so it's my first experience doing a giveaway. I think that it was great, and it, you know, it's good fun to interact with people anyway. So I have a list of the people who've entered the competition, I have numbered them, and I'm going to use a random number generator to select the winner and announce it on here. So, let's find a random number generator. Okay, so let's generate a random number. Well, why do I feel nervous? This is just crazy. Okay, right. Generate. Okay, the winner of my competition is Diane Sartain. So Diane, I'm going to send you a copy of Milk, if free and in advance, before anybody else other than the people who are reviewing it get to read it. So congratulations, Diane. Thank you everybody who entered, and obviously pre-orders are still live, so you can order your copy to get on the release date on Kindle or on in paperback. Or alternatively, there are signed copies available for pre-order on my website. I know that some people are going to be coming to my launch date, which I'll talk about a little bit more in the future, and on the launch day there's going to be signed copies available. So anyway, yeah, well done, Diane, that's awesome. Anyway, so I hope that you found some of this stuff interesting. I mean, none of it's groundbreaking. I suppose the point I really want to make is that when it's your first book, you know, you've just got to get yourself out there and engage with people, and just give everything a go, and you know, give everything a try and contact everybody you can contact. And you know, I don't think there's any point in saying, oh, that might not be worth it because that might not get enough exposure or whatever. I just think give it a go. You don't know who you're going to contact, who you're going to meet, and see where things go. Because like I said, just becoming a part of the writer community or the local community or the business community or whatever it is, and meeting people and engaging with people, I just think is so worthwhile. And like I said, you know, that dog, it's my first book, so you know. Anyway, I hope, like I said, that was useful and interesting. Please comment below if you can think of anything to add. Tell me if there's anywhere I should be marketing it and I'm not. And please like, subscribe, and I'll see you all for my next one.